I'm gonna say I do not have any experience on these machines at all whatsoever. This is my very first one, so it's going to be a learning process for myself. I'll be doing some reading up on books and whatnot, but there's other machines out there, some that are less expensive. I opted for this larger Cab King just because I wanted something that would last for a long time, and nothing that I would have to change out later, you know, wanting to go to something bigger later, whatever. I just went ahead and decided to go ahead and do with the big one right off the bat and go from there. So I'm going to attempt to grind and polish down this little agate from Morocco. We got a shipment of these when we went down to Tucson, and I threw some in the tumbler and they came out really nice. They took a great polish. So I'm going to try my hand on that and see how it goes. I'm going to find something to prop my phone up against while I do this, so that way you can kind of see what transpires here. So this is supposed to be the toughest or the most coarse grit. So right off the bat, I can tell you this thing is it's really sharp as far as the grinding wheel goes. I'm not putting any pressure on this at all, and it's literally just shaving this thing off like it was nothing. So I don't know if this is a really good one or not, but it's really eating it up pretty good. There's some beautiful eyes on this from what I can see, so I'm liking how that looks. So I've got most of the rough part off of it already, so I'm going to go to the next wheel. Wow, that one takes it down quite a bit too. There we go. Kind of liking how that looks. Can't really see really well with the camera. Oh, turn the water on that one. All right, so that fell out of my hand. I'm gonna turn the machine off. Initially, I want to reach in there just to grab it, but I've worked around a lot of spinning equipment for a lot of years out in the oil field, and that is the most common reflex is to reach in when you drop something, or to reach down to pick something up when you drop it, and that will get your arm ripped right off or seriously injured. In this case, probably not too much damage. I mean, your fist or whatever can fit through there, and it can fling it up and probably break your wrist. So we're going to let it come to a complete full stop before I reach in there to grab that rock. So far, I mean, initial thoughts on it is it works really quick. Those first two wheels, they took a lot of material off really quick, and so I'm going to continue on this side here and give it a look-see. So there we go. Didn't quite come to a full stop, but we're good. So yeah, it's shaping up pretty nice. Kind of digging that. So I don't know what the right water the water ratio you should have on this. Like I said, I'm a novice when it comes to doing this type of work. I've seen some videos of people doing it. I'm a visual learner, and that's pretty much where most of my experience on anything has ever come from, is just by watching other people. If somebody tells me how to do it, I'm probably not going to retain that information. A little bit more. So I've watched videos where people just roll this around kind of like this, and I've also watched where people go up and down, and I can tell you that's not needed. There's enough cylindrical force going around this thing, you know, that you're doing this up and down, don't do shit. It doesn't do nothing for you. Hold it steady, rotate it around, you're gonna get the exact same result, probably a little bit better of an even, in my opinion. So I'm gonna stop right there. I don't want to take those eyes completely out, but that's actually looking really good. And again, sorry for the image quality. This is my first attempt on a stone like this, so I'm gonna try another one. This one seems to be a little bit soft, so I'm not sure what happened in this particular stone, but it's almost like it's opalized instead of agatized. But really happy with how fast this thing is taking shape. And I probably have this on way too much water. Yeah, it looks like I've got too much water because it's leaking around the drum. And I don't want to get that into my electrical components there. So that splash guard is either that or the hoses are not angled right, so I'll be looking at that here in a little bit. So I don't know what the exact amount of time is for each wheel, but I can feel it's really smooth. There's no burrs or nothing when my finger runs across it. So I'm just kind of using that as my guide to when I should go to the next wheel. Yeah, it's feeling really smooth on that. So. Felt really smooth. So again, I'm not pushing against this. I can feel, I mean, as long as it's snug in my hand, I'm feeling like it's doing what it's supposed to do without a whole lot of force. Like I said, this thing is spinning at a good number of revolutions. That I don't believe you need to exert a lot of force behind it or do a lot of up and down motion. Just, you know, work the stone around, nice even pace with your fingers. definitely use this rest. I really like the rest on here. I've never used one without one, but I can tell you, just from doing any kind of you know, bench grinding or whatnot, like with an industrial grinder, anytime you have a little rest to hold against, it definitely helps. So I'd recommend if you get a unit, make sure you get those little deals right there. Those are nice. All right, so I'm thinking it's ready for the last round. From what I can feel, it's really slick. So this is, I believe, it's supposed to be the polishing wheel. So although it already feels really nice and polished. So for now, what I have is I have a bucket catching all the water down below, and so I have fresh water piped in. I'm not going to use that recycle pump as for right now. I'm just going to capture the water and then use the water for my plants or whatnot. As long as I'm not doing any kind of toxic stones or anything, it should be okay to you know, just dump this out once it's done. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it set up. Once I pour out, you know, let it settle, and then use the water for the garden or whatnot, and then let the sludge dry, and then let it dry, and then discard the sludge afterwards. So that's that. I'm going to stop it for a second. I'm going to get this dry, and then I'm going to come back and show it. This is exactly how it turned out. That is all shine across that. So there was a little bit of pitting that happened right there. So like I said, I believe this is an opalized piece. So there's the backside. You know, you can see it's pretty rough, and then that front just, I mean, my God, that thing took a wonderful shine. So super stoked about it. First piece on the machine. I did have my very first blowout when I walked back inside. What I was worried about was that thing coming off, and sure enough it did. So I'm definitely going to have to use some sort of a fastener between those. Yeah, or maybe put up a little regulator up here, a little shut off, so that way I don't have to keep going back down to the bottom to shut it off. But super stoked. I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to do that one live.